By now you have come up with a character design. We drew and colored our character. Maybe you gave your character a name. And then the next step was to practice drawing your character in action. So you drew your character in several different action poses. Today we are going to finish our project by putting our character into a story. So using our character to tell a story or tell a joke. And the way that I'm asking you to do that is through a short comic strip. You could use lined paper like this, or you could use plain paper, depending on your preference or what you have available at your house. The lined paper might work well for you because you can easily draw the panels of your comic. So the panels are the boxes in a comic strip. So I can easily trace along these lines to create these panels. And in a comic, the panels do not touch each other. They're separate boxes. So I'm going to leave a gap here for my next panel. My requirement for you is to create at least 4 panels. So I'm on 2. I'm going to draw 2 more. If you have a story in your mind that is going to involve more than 4 panels, you are welcome to draw that, but you do not need to do too much work for this. I'm only asking you to put in about 25 to 30 minutes worth of work for this. So here I quickly just drew 4 panels, 4 rectangles separated with some space to show 4 separate scenes. And then within the scenes, the next thing I'm going to do is add a horizon line. So I'm going to switch over to using my pencil, and I'm going to draw the horizon and make it equal among all of them so that the horizon doesn't change. This provides some continuity for your viewer. So I'm going to skip over the middle of the panel and continue that line. And then when I get to the bottom, I need to make sure it's about the same down here. So I can measure that by using my fingers, put my fingernails right on the edges of these lines, pick up my pincher, move it down. And this is just like a little ruler, a little measuring tool that you can use as an artist. Now that I've got my horizon line, I can place my character on the scene. So I will draw my character. Perhaps she is gardening, because in the first picture that I drew for her, this was my example for Mr. Policina's lesson, my character is very small in a garden. You can see these plants are taller than my character. So think about the size of your character, and you can draw things around your character that show how big or small your character is. I'm starting with the basic shapes right now, so some circles, the little football shapes for the ears, simple little feet, and my character might just be going for a little walk right now. So I'm starting with the simple shapes, and then after I have everything in here, I will go into it with more details. I have a pen that I'll use to outline everything. In a comic, you can easily read and see everything because the lines are a black line, not a gray line. So if you have access to a pen and a pencil, you can draw with a pencil first and then outline with your black marker, and that'll make it really easy for everyone to see what's going on. Now that I've finished drawing the story, I'm outlining with my pen, And I'm going to add in the details. So I didn't add in any of the details of my character's face yet, so I'm adding those now. The last part of my illustration, my comic, is I'm going to add color. I'm using colored pencils, and I have these really little ones here to get the very small details because my comic isn't very big. Crayons would be too big, and markers are going to bleed through this paper. And as fourth graders, colored pencils are probably a material that you want to start working with because you want to get your small details. The story that I created, I don't have any words, but if I did have words, I would want to write them big enough for everyone to see and make sure that I spelled everything correctly. You do not need to color the entire picture. You could add color to maybe the most important parts of your picture. The background of this picture is not really important for my story, so I did not outline it with my marker. I left it in the pencil. And it's also not going to get any color today. I'm not going to worry about coloring that in. If you choose to color in the whole comic, you could. But sometimes just adding color to the important parts helps emphasize what is important, and it helps the person who is viewing your artwork understand more quickly and more clearly what is happening because they can focus on the important elements of the story of your art. So the important elements of the story that I created are this plant that my character is bringing back to life. And I'm also going to use a little bit of color to show the magic that my character has. She has magic to help plants come back to life. So I need to think of a color that will kind of show a difference. It'll show the magic, something that isn't already a color in my picture. So I wouldn't use red or purple or green. I think what I will use is yellow. When you are finished with your comic, please take a photo of it and turn it in on Google Classroom. When you take your photo, please make sure that you can see all of the panels and that it's not in the shadow so that we can see all of your details.